You see that knowledge is power. So in Eastern wisdom, we say knowledge is that power which liberates us from suffering. So first the knowledge, then it is power, then it takes out all the suffering. So what is suffering? Our isolation, our anxiety, our duality, our conflict. So we are talking of that knowledge which liberates, which transcends us from the suffering, and we are not interested. Why we are not interested? We have lot of other things to do that causes the stress and the suffering in the life. So here comes the Eastern wisdom, which says peace and happiness are our essential nature. Why we are busy? Why we are running after the things of the world outside? Because of peace and happiness. So what the Eastern wisdom says? It says peace and happiness are our essential nature. You see, my friend, you are going into a store or a big mall and something stops you. The moment you see it, it attracts you, it pleases you. But this statement does not make your mind stop when I say peace and happiness are our essential nature. Why it is so? Do we know everything about meditation? Do we know everything about the knowledge coming from the Eastern wisdom? Do we not believe in it? Do we not ready to inquire? The human being is full of curiosity. So it does not surprise and amaze us when the Master says, peace and happiness are our essential nature. And there is a permanent peace and happiness within all of us. It is not outside. Why we are running and where we are running? Why we are busy and where we are busy? We are busy outside. We are always busy outside with people that cannot give us permanent happiness, with objects that cannot give us permanent happiness, with location, with the time. Permanent peace and happiness is not there. So whatever mind says, I have been running for so many years in the world outside in search of peace and happiness. I did not get it. How dare you claim? We don't claim. It is our essential nature. So when the mind is ready to listen, where the knowledge happens in the mind. Am I ready to listen if I am curious? Am I ready to inquire? How do I inquire? By thinking. So peace and happiness is within me. It is my essential nature. So if you are not ready to ask the questions, how it is possible that happiness is within me and I am searching it outside? So if you don't think, So that is why our master says that there are 4 levels of seekers. The first is the highest level of a seeker. I have been searching peace and happiness. I got millions and still I am not happy. I understand that the money cannot buy the happiness. Relationship cannot buy that happiness. The time cannot buy that happiness. So highest level of a seeker, the moment they listen, they are ready to contemplate. They are ready to treat the path. Otherwise, who cares? No, can you make me understand logically, intellectually, before the practice? Yes. Master is always ready to explain. But are we really ready? So the first level of the seeker. Second level of the seeker wants to know more intellectually. And at some point, the intellect is inspired to undergo the practice. Third and the fourth level of the seekers, they will question how much it is, why it is, why don't you give me the practice like this? They have the third level of the seeker always have a complaint. They are not ready to think and inquire. And the fourth level of the seeker always goes against what our masters teaches. Oh, peace and happiness are within you. Can you give me a bread? I don't have a bread to eat. Then I will talk about peace and happiness. You are getting bread every day. You have a shelter. That is why you are talking of peace. You see, the people are going against. So first thing is that, am I a seeker? You need not to believe. Am I ready to inquire? Yes, I am ready to inquire. So then we say, how do you know the world outside? Through the sense organs. My 5 sense organs goes to their respective objects and the mind processes it. That is how I know the external world. Here is my home, here is my honey, here is my son, here is my kid, and here is my car. So the sense organs are an instrument of knowledge, the physical instrument. I know the physical world by what? By sense organs. So where lies the permanent peace and happiness? It lies within me. So ask your sense organ, can any sense organ see inside? It's pure, simple question. And we don't accept it. If you don't accept the question, what is going to happen? You are still running outside, seeking and searching peace outside in the world, and there is no peace and happiness outside. So you get frustrated, you try again, and you are constantly running and running and running. So what is the knowledge part? These sense organs, even though they are wonderful instruments of knowledge to know the physical world, but it cannot go inside and it cannot know me. It cannot, because it cannot go inside. So I'm talking of inner peace and happiness. Think of it. Then we have a subtle instrument. What is that subtle instrument? Is the mind and the intellect. It creates a concept. What is a concept? The ideas by which we clear our understanding about the world outside. So mind is more powerful instrument of knowledge that knows my thoughts. I cannot see the thoughts. That is why it is known as subtle instrument. Now we have spatial instruments. What are the spatial instruments? Like the high-powered microscope that can see the coronavirus, that can see what is going on in the body, how the body is reacting to the coronavirus. They are spatial instruments by which we know what is happening outside. So, similarly, we have a spatial instrument to know what is beyond mind. What is that spatial instrument? It is Easternwisdom, of which meditation and mindfulness is an integral part. Now, whose mind is clearly understanding this concept? That the mind definitely can give me the knowledge, but mind cannot know what is beyond the mind, what is behind the mind. How simple it is. Can I keep my awareness to go beyond and behind the mind? I am a great seeker. I am the highest level of the seeker. Now I want to absorb myself into meditation or mindfulness. Now I want to learn it. I want to practice it until I reach, until I transcend the mind. How simple, logically, intellectually. I'm not talking of any religion, cult, dogma, belief, yoga, style of yoga, meditation, style of meditation, mindfulness, style of mindfulness. In fact, Master says there is no style in mindfulness or meditation. It all depends on the seeker's level. Master personalizes one meditation differently. So what did we understand? That meditation or mindfulness is an instrument of knowledge, practice of which reveals the knowledge of the permanent peace and happiness. Second point, we understand that this instrument of knowledge helps us to go beyond the mind. It is a spatial instrument. Where is coronavirus? Can I see through the eyes? Can I feel it through the sense organs? No. Can I understand through the mind? No. We need a spatial instrument. We know the impact, the symptoms. But in order to know and understand, we need a spatial instrument, a high-powered microscope to see what I'm saying. Meditation is a spatial instrument, process, method by which we transcend the mind. So if anyone understands this clearly, that is the highest level of the seeker, and that seeker will never leave the practice until he finds it. And the moment he starts the journey, from the very first day, first journey, he will discover or she will discover some relaxation, some calmness, some method. But we don't want to do it. Either we are busy or we negotiate, or you see that? The thoughts in the mind. What are these thoughts? Compare with the thoughts that what we have understood. So these thoughts and the feelings oppose. Unnecessary questions are asked, even after understanding it. I see every day. But that is the part, that is the way every individual responds or reacts. So even after understanding that meditation is an integral part of the Eastern wisdom, and the Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge that helps me to know and practice and discover how to transcend the mind. And after transcending the mind, I experience the permanent peace and happiness. Did I make a statement that has a color of religion, cult, dogma, belief? What we say blind belief? No. So when everything is clear, is my mind clear? Do I think about it? And when it is clear, when I think about it, the journey of meditation or mindfulness is a joy of conscious living. Conscious living, pay attention, joy of conscious living. So living is conscious. So when the living is conscious, the mind moves inside, it awakens to the permanent peace and the happiness. That becomes the joy of conscious living. No, I don't believe you. Again the same question. You need not to believe, you need to experiment, you need to practice. So let us in the first session practice in a very simple way. Close your eyes, and I will explain you, and I will apply all those I discussed today. So why we close the eyes? The sense organs cannot discover the permanent peace and happiness. They cannot go inside and find anything. They are one-sided windows. They always open to the world outside. They do not open to the world inside. They are physical instrument. Our true nature, the true nature is a pure consciousness. That is why we close our eyes. So close your eyes and find out the most comfortable position of the body. What did I say? Most comfortable position of the body. The way you want to sit, lie down, but eyes are closed. So it is a symbolic. Eyes are closed to in meditation. What is that symbolism? That when the sense organs are attracted by any object, respective object, ask the mind to be in service. Tell the mind, no, at present I am not going outside. Then we prepare ourselves. There are external preparations of which you are aware: aroma, fragrance, costly mat, beautiful light. They are external preparations for meditation. So those who are the lowest level of the seekers, no doubt, you can prepare yourself in that condition. But if you intellectually understand and there is a clarity, You can practice meditation at any time, in any location, in any position. Clear? So internal preparation is being comfortable. So what is being comfortable? So I'm translating being comfortable into a step, into a practice by giving you the instruction. So your eyes are closed. You are in a position of the body that seems steady. So you are moving to the subtle instrument, the mind. Now the mind goes to the neck joint. If you are a highest level of the seeker, the body does not move and the mind is looking the neck joint. It is still there. So it gives rise to an experience of sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. No, I feel unease, no doubt, no problem. Adjust and align your neck joint so that the moment you feel comfortable, recognize the experience of sensation in the neck joint. Experience being comfortable and steadiness. There is nothing that you cannot do. Now we are asking the mind to navigate in the experience of being comfortable. How simple is that? So move the mind on the shoulder joints. Now see, if you are the lowest level of the seeker, the body will move 100 times. Why it moves? The mind is not listening. And if you are listening the instruction, what did I say? Don't move the body to the mind. Move the mind on the shoulder joints. So when you move it, you feel the sensation being comfortable and steadiness. So move the mind on the hip joint. Today we are going slowly but powerfully to go deeper. Don't start thinking if I have a very higher step. There is no higher step. Are you higher? Even the simple step becomes the higher and deeper. That is the secret of meditation. So move the mind on the hip joint. Move the mind on the hip joint. Move the mind on the hip joint. Feel the sensation being comfortable and steadiness. So what we are doing? Eyes are closed. We are sitting in a comfortable position and the mind is moving on the knee joints. When the mind moves on the knee joints, we feel the sensation being comfortable and steadiness. That is the preparatory part of the journey of mindfulness. Move the mind on the entire body. We understand that the sense organ as an instrument of knowledge can help us know the physical world, but it cannot go inside. So hence, the sense organs cannot discover the permanent peace and happiness within. How simple it is to understand. I'm not talking of any religion, dogma, cult, belief. I'm talking of common sense. So, through that common sense, you move the mind from the top of the head to the toes. And when you move it, the mind gets an experience. So, what is that common experience? It is sensation, it is being comfortable, it is a kind of steadiness in the body. Now understand, you don't enforce steadiness in the body. You just become aware of the steadiness in the body as you become the steadiness in the matter. The smartphone is lying, it will continue to be there in the same position as long as you wish. Same way, the body has to be clear. Body has to be clear. So now we have four simplest steps. If I'm a highest level of a seeker of meditation, the simple steps works very deep. But just by claiming I'm a highest level of a seeker doesn't work. I have to understand it. So I made that understanding clear. So let us start with the first step. Move the mind on the head and the neck. You are looking mentally at the head and the neck. So when the mind looks, mind gains the knowledge. It becomes aware. So what is that knowledge when the mind moves on the head and the neck? You experience sensation. I'm not asking you to feel something, fancy. It is so simple. Are you aware? Yes. Are you moving the mind on the head and the neck? Yes. Is the mind there on the head and the neck mentally? Yes. You experience sensation. What other things you also experience a kind of stillness. Now understand, I told you, meditation is a special instrument of knowledge to discover inner peace and happiness. So, when you experience sensation and stillness that is not enforced, it is preventing the mind going out, it moves the mind with. That is what we discussed. So if you understand, if you have a knowledge of my house, exact address, you can reach there. So the first part is always the right knowledge of what is mindfulness and meditation. So move the mind on the right arm. The mind moves on the right arm slowly from the shoulder to the fingertips. Where the mind is on the right arm. Do you feel the presence? Yes. So, do you experience the sensation in the right arm that is much more than any other part of the body as you move the mind? That is a secret, another principle of Eastern wisdom we'll discuss in the following session. So when you move the mind on the right arm, you feel the sensation and you experience the stillness. You move the mind on the left arm. How simple. When you move the mind on the left arm, you feel the sensation and you experience the stillness. So while we are doing the same thing on the entire major parts of the body, so that the mind, we prevent the mind naturally not to go outside, but then what is left? It will move inside. You'll have a new experience. That is what we are doing. So move the mind on the chest, on the rib cage and the belly. Do you remember you are not moving the body to the mind? The mind moving on the rib cage and the belly. So what it means, you become aware. What is your experience in the field of awareness of the chest and the belly? There is a sensation. We did not create the sensation. The mind started moving inside, closer, nearer. So we have an experience of sensation and stillness. Move the mind on the right leg. The mind goes to the right leg. Feel the sensation and experience the stillness. The mind moves on the left leg. Mind moves on the left leg. Feel the sensation and the stillness. So the mind continues to experience the sensation in the body and experience the stillness at this moment. It is a journey where the mind is naturally moving inside. Now, if the mind is moving inside, if it does not live within, it does not become a spatial instrument that we discussed today. So check, in the field of awareness, you are looking inside, and from inside, you are looking at the breath moving in and out. You don't focus. I'm not saying you focus, you concentrate, because that will destroy the very nature of the mind at this time. I'm giving a lesson, I'm aware of the light in front of my computer screen. How simple is that? Do I focus? No. Same way. You are simply looking at the breath. So what the mind knows about the breath? So natural it is going in and out. So can I continue to keep the mind on the breath that is going in and that is coming out? You see, we are sitting in a living room and the people, our members of the family coming in, we are simply aware. Do we need to focus? No. Same way. You are looking at the breath. So what happens? You are looking at the breath going in and the mind goes somewhere else and you forget to look at the breath coming out. Why it happens? Can you really recognize this? That the mind forgets to keep its awareness on the breath going in and out. Why it happens? Our masters say that it happens because of the impurity in the mind. Impurity don't consider it as a sin. So we say the impurity is a distraction, impurity is an obsession, impurity is a craziness of the mind, impurity is anxiety in the mind. The impurity is the duality and a conflict. So because the mind is obsessed with something, it remembers and it forgets the awareness of the breath, not focus. You are simply looking at the breath going in and coming out. So what should we do when the mind forgets because some thought enters into the mind? That also happens to the highest level of a seeker and the lowest level of a seeker. It happens the same way, but highest level of the seeker has a commitment. He recalls, he remembers what I'm doing, and he keeps the mind on the breath again, but he does not focus. And the lower level of the seeker complains and blames, no, this practice is not helping me. Second practice is not helping me. Third is not helping me. No teacher can give me any practice that can help my mind to be in peace. That is the biggest impurity. I claim I understand, and still so now can we raise our awareness a little bit more? So we have a three-pointed awareness of the breath. Where is that awareness of the breath? First awareness, first experience the mind is gaining is the breath is going in and breath is coming out. So what happens inside the nose when the breath is going in and out? You feel the sensation in the body. You recognize, here is the breath going in, and here is the breath coming out. You are raising the bar of your awareness. But why we do that? We know that. You know it intellectually. Everything, every knowledge is already on the Google. Nothing happens to us. So when you translate that knowledge into a practice, into an experience, you discover how to keep the mind living within, not to be swayed by any impression. So that is the second part of the second point of awareness. And what is the third? So simple. Our mind claims, I know it. And I know when we start the journey, we cannot translate that into an actual experience. And what is the third point? It is so simple. Do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. You are simply watching it. You are feeling the sensation of the breath, but make sure that you do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. And some impression from the past jumps in the mind and changes the rate and the rhythm of the breath. So I'm just alert and aware. In the field of awareness, three-pointed awareness of the breath. Where is that? That is looking at the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation of the breath going in and out, no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. And what is the fourth step? Again, the simplest. You move the mind deep inside the head. What do you see? The space, blankness, or emptiness. So move the mind into that space or emptiness or blankness. So when you become aware of that space, the inner space, just tickle your mind. I'm the peace. Just say deep within, with awareness that you're too far from the body and the world outside. When you are aware of that moment, just say I'm the peace or Shantoham and see what happens. And in that state, do nothing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Feel the sensation and slowly open your eyes. Experience the state. And now is the time to share your experiences. How are you, Michelle? You have to unmute your... How can I listen your sweet voice?
Hi, Actoria. It's so nice to hear your voice. You look well.
So nice to see you.
Likewise. How is your family?
Family is good. Everything is fine. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I miss you.
I miss you. I see you after such a... Do you really miss me? You never called me. No, I'm just joking.
Your mind is not focused on the present, Arturia.
How are you, Anne?
I'm fine. Quiet, calm.
You see that